Hey, what's up, and welcome back to Fiverr Talks, everybody. Today is a very special episode because today we have top-rated seller Ron Desi here with us. This is a guy who's been on Fiverr for 9 years, and we asked him some very hard-hitting, exclusive questions. So stay tuned because right here on Fiverr Talks, it's another top-rated seller interview. That's right, today's gonna be awesome, guys. Another top-rated seller voice is gonna speak into your life. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Joel. I'm top-rated seller DJ Young on Fiverr. Been there since 2013, and 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I share videos like this to help you become the best possible Fiverr seller you can be. So if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Today, our very special guest of honor on Fiverr Talks is none other than top-rated seller Ron Desi. Goes under the username Website Video on Fiverr. Let me tell you a little something about Ron. I've known Ron for a little while. We used to do the exact same thing on Fiverr. He's persistent and continues to do a great job as a video spokesperson. I've moved on to other things and left my camera time just to you people here on YouTube, you wonderful people, you. But Fiverr has been Ron's home since 2011. He's been on there for 9 years. He's completed 13,000 gigs in that time. What more can I tell you about Ron? He's a husband and a father. He lives in Baltimore, Maryland. He's a salt of the earth guy that really has worked hard to get where he is today, and I think that'll come through in his interview. So let's not wait any longer. Let's get right to the juicy stuff. This is our interview with top-rated seller Ron Desi.
I'll try to condense this, but basically I was looking for ways to make money online. I was in a job that, though was good, I was making good money, I had good benefits, and for all intents and purposes, I should have stayed there. But I had this itch, this entrepreneurial itch to go and do something completely different. I just didn't know what to do. So I bought a bunch of courses, probably half of them were scams in terms of how to actually make money online. None of them worked, never made a dime. And so I was going around and I bumped into Fiverr. And at the time, Fiverr, this is probably 2011, 2012, around that time frame, Fiverr had a lot of goofy stuff. 90% were all funny, jokey, cringeworthy types of stuff. And then there were like 10% business services. And I thought, well, I'm good on camera. I have to do a lot of presentations. Since I worked at a college university, I had to present to students, present to staff. I had to do YouTube videos to help people if they were applying to the university, how to do it properly. So I thought that that was one of my talents. So I hung my shingle on Fiverr. I started my gig and I started doing spokesperson videos. And it was the first money that I ever made. And it was great at first, but I was working full time, probably 8 to 10 hours a day. Then I would get home, be exhausted, and then do videos. And it got to the point where I didn't have a process in place yet, and I was actually going to quit. And I remember specifically the time, and I thank God I didn't quit, but I was literally right there about to do it, and I thought, rather than quit, let me try to change my processes, try to streamline them. And so I streamlined them, and as they say, the rest is history. And I've been on Fiverr doing spokesperson and video work now for, I guess, almost 10 years. And it's been a great ride.
Okay, I'm just gonna interject right here because if you didn't hear that, if you're not listening, I need to drive this home for you right now. Get this, if you are thinking about quitting because things are hard, think again, because just imagine what Ron's life would be like if he had quit in the early days when it was hard. He just said it, the rest is history, but it's important for those of you that are struggling right now. Maybe you have too many orders. Maybe you don't have enough orders. Maybe you just feel like it's hard to work all day and come home and do a side hustle, and it's just, you're asking yourself, is it worth it? Well, the answer is yes, it's worth it. Okay, let's keep going with the interview.
Fiverr's changed my life because for the past 5 years, so I've been on Fiverr for about 10. 5 of those years I was working full-time as well. The last 5 years, I've been on my own, and it's been great. Like, I don't have a boss. I don't have anyone to report to. I can wake up when I want. I can do what I want, when I want, how I want. I have the complete and utter freedom I've always wanted. That comes with a little bit of scariness because now instead of relying on a paycheck every 2 weeks and having benefits and everything else, if I have a bad month, do I save the money or do I pay the rent? It's that kind of thing. So, it's scary to a certain extent, but at the same time, the freedom, I always say this, my worst day of being my own boss on Fiverr, my worst day is still better than the best day I ever had working for somebody else. So again, my worst day working for myself is still better than the best day of working for somebody else. So that's what I think. Fiverr has completely changed my life. It's been a great ride. They haven't paid me to say this. I truly am grateful for what they do. A lot of people complain, well, they take 20%. That's true, but if I went out on my own, I'd have to create a website. I'd have to drive traffic to the website. I'd have to market my website. I'd have to do all this kind of stuff, invest in software, those kinds of things. And with Fiverr, they take 20%, but they do all the advertising. They do all the back end. They do all the everything else. I just have to put my gigs out there, do my work, and make my clients happy. That's it. In terms of what I like about being independent on Fiverr is the fact that I can do my own thing. And it allows me to work how I want, when I want, how I want to do it, all of those kinds of good things. But also Fiverr gives me the traffic. It gives me the customers. And if I'm doing a great job, if I'm making sure customers are happy, or not even happy, if I'm delighting customers, then obviously my sales are going to go up and all these other kinds of things. And it's more or less Fiverr has allowed me to do what I want to do and what I like without all the overhead of everything else. My answers to the last couple questions kind of hinted at it, but one is it's giving me the freedom. I mean, to me, freedom is important. I don't like having a boss. I don't like, saying yes to somebody else. I don't like being told when I need to be at work. I don't like when I'm told that I have to do something a certain way. I don't like that control mentality. I don't want to be in a cube. I don't want to be in an office. I don't want to be a drone who goes to work every morning. I don't want to be trapped inside of a steel coffin, as they said. I think that was on Point Break. These people going to work every day, trapped inside of a car, steel coffin. I didn't want to do all that. So what Fiverr has allowed me to do is to get to live that freedom that I've always wanted to have. As a kid, I always thought, and I remember in college, raising my hand when there was a person who came in about, it was like career day or something. And I said, I mean, what's it like really working for 8 to 10 hours a day? I mean, doesn't it get boring? What's that like? There was a concern in my head, like, do I really want to work for somebody else for 8 to 10 hours a day? No, I don't. And I never have. And Fiverr has allowed me to live this great life. And, sure, I wish I were making more money on Fiverr. I'm doing quite well. I have plans for 2020 to do some other things, but I would say for the most part, it's giving me what I need to live the life that I want to live on my own terms. And I'll say it again, because this is kind of my mantra. The worst day working on Fiverr is still better than the best day I had working for somebody else.
There are few statements that I could agree with any more than that one right there. The worst day working for yourself is always better than the best day working for somebody else. Now, I know many of you have 9-to-5 jobs, and I don't want you to despise those things. In 2020, it's a blessing to have a job. So consider yourself lucky if you're able to put food on the table, provide for yourself or your family, however your life is set up. It's a blessing to have a job and be able to earn an income and provide for yourself and or your family. But no, there's a certain joy that comes with working for yourself, knowing that you're the one responsible for the wins, but also the losses. You're the one that controls your destiny. You're the one out there holding the reins as the horse is running. You are in charge. Folks, if you're just now on the edge of that, if you're just getting started in your freelance life, then you got a little taste of that. But I can guarantee you when you get into it even farther, you are going to see it's that much sweeter. Okay, let's get back to the interview.
The first thing I would say is come up with something that you enjoy doing. Like, what is it? What's the talent that people say that you have, that you know that you have? What is that talent? It could be anything from, are you a good designer? Are you a good spokesperson? Are you good on camera? Are you good with voiceovers? Are you good with programming? I mean, just go on Fiverr's website and look at all of the topics. Do you fit? Do you have a talent that fits into any of those? Make sure you do something you love, because if you don't, you're going to hate it. And really, there's no difference between working for someone and hating it and working on Fiverr and hating it because you don't like what you're doing. So pick something that you really enjoy, because I've done things, I have started new gigs that I completely hated and I just got rid of them. And so find something you enjoy. I would say that's the number one thing, is find something you'll enjoy and that you're good at. Kind of that magic intersection between what you love to do and what you're really good at. I think the next thing that's important is to make sure you have a rock solid description. Make sure your description is well written. Make sure that there's no grammar mistakes. The other thing is you want to make sure you have a video. People will only buy from people they know, they like, and they trust. And video is a good way to do that. So make sure your description is, your gig description is grammatically correct, English is well written, everything else. But in your video, make sure that you present just yourself, be yourself. Say who you are, where you live, what you'll provide, all those kinds of things. Whether English is your first language or your seventh language, it doesn't matter. People want to get to know you as a person. I know, for instance, when I'm on Fiverr, I'm looking over there because my computer's over there. I know when I'm on Fiverr and I'm looking for someone, a programmer or a WordPress person, if I don't see a video, I usually don't like to hire them because I just don't know. It's kind of like who's behind the keyboard, so to speak. So the last thing I'll say is this: customer service is number one. No, let me rewind that. Customer service is not number one. Customer delight is number one. What I mean by that is be as friendly as you can. Try to be as helpful as you can. Try to go above and beyond. And when someone messages you and they say their name, like, blah, 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 thank you very much, and the person's name is Sarah, say, "Hi, Sarah, I'm Joe. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. If you choose me, your experience will be delightful." Try to go above and beyond. And I've been doing that for the past probably 3 or 4 months, and it's made an exponential difference. Because before that, I was doing very transactional. Now I'm really engaging, and the number of repeat buyers I have is coming back. The number of 5-star reviews, people who wouldn't necessarily leave a review, now they leave one because they like me as a person. So that's important. So again, description, video, and make sure that you're delighting your customer at every angle. So that's it.
Well, Ron, we are so thankful for your time, that you've taken time out of your busy schedule to share with our Fiverr Talks community. I know we're all better for it. I know your wisdom and experience has taught our viewers a lot. So viewers, if you love this interview, show Ron some love in the comments down below. Throw him a thumbs up. Tell him what you loved about his interview. He's going to be watching. He's going to be reading. And I guarantee he's going to find some encouragement from your words of feedback on his interview. So please consider subscribing. Click the button right up there. That'll get you subscribed. Hit the bell. You'll be notified every time we put out a new video. And if you're looking for the next video to watch, well, then maybe try this one. I think this is a pretty good one. Yeah, I like the guy in that one. And remember, keep doing, because the future favors the doers.